Well, hello everybody. I hope you are having an amazing Wednesday. We're back to talk all things cord cutting every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. We are live to answer your cord cut related questions, except for holidays. If it happens on Wednesday, it's the next day on Thursday. So I'm going to quickly share this across the social media. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your support. And hopefully we can help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. Hello, the individual. It's great to see you here. And there's got to be a better way to automate this system. Someday I'll figure it out. But we're going to hopefully help you save some money on your TV and still access all of it. We're going to talk all the biggest news. T-Mobile had an announcement today. It's not the TV news. Didn't really expect it to be the TV announcement, though a lot of people were hoping it would be. Now they're giving away some music. They're giving away some concert tickets. They're also promising to improve customer tech support, which they said during the thing, which will make their TVs, better customer service will make their TV a better experience. So let's kind of dive into everything here. And now that's shared everywhere. Colin, Skulls, Duff, Ruben, everybody, Raymond, good to see you all here. Raymond says Tubi TV added an autoplay feature. I think autoplay, the next episode, has been on Tubi for a while, but only on select devices. I think what's new here is we're seeing it on multiple devices, which is pretty cool. All right. You picked up a Note 9. That's pretty nice. I got the S9. I'm pretty happy with the S9, but I do think I'm going to go back to the new Pixel 3. I had a Pixel before that. I think I'm a Pixel person now. Hello, Gary. I see you change your name. Hello, Cameron. It's great to see people from New York City. Where's everybody from today? Let me know. Patrick says he's bought a TCL HDR Roku TV last year and loves it. Much cheaper than his LG and has a better picture. No regrets. That's good news there. Hello, Joe. It's good to have you here. So where's everybody from? Call off here as everybody kind of comes on in. I see all the notification team here rolling in from the notifications. Springfield, Missouri. I spent a lot of time in Springfield, Missouri. Have you ever been to Vendors Mart in Springfield, Missouri? Always love to go there. El Paso, Central California. Cameron says he just cut the cord last month. Welcome to the Cord family. Dallas, Texas, Maryland, Louisville. Hey, if you're in Dallas, Texas, August 28th, I'll be posting more details about this again this weekend. It's a Tuesday. We're going to be teaching some cord cutting classes. We got 3 different ones starting at 10:30, with the last class at 6:30 in the greater Dallas, Texas area. So keep that in mind. Luke, what do you think about the reports on net neutrality? The FCC wants the higher court to throw out the 2016 ruling. I'll have to look into that. I'm not very familiar with it. I can't imagine that the Supreme Court would be able to overturn it because it's well within the FCC's power to classify internet in different ways. Auburn, Fort Lauderdale, Fort Worth, Silicon Valley, a little bit of everybody from everywhere. Houston, Texas, great to see so many people there. Hey, now we got a ton of people here. In the show notes down below, we are giving away a TCL Roku TV, 4K HDR, 55-inch, brand new TV, free month of Sling TV included, Mohu antenna. Get yourself with a great TV for cord cutting, or if you're already a cord cutter, hey, we can always use a great TV, right? Hey, if you want to enter that giveaway, ends Monday. The giveaway ends on Monday. In the show notes, down below, I have a link to the giveaway. Do it now in a giveaway. There's multiple options there. The more things you do, the more entries you get. But as long as you do at least one, you're entered into the giveaway. All right, Luke, what's going on with the net neutrality bill in California? As far as I know, it's still moving forward. There's some debates. I forget what the particular provision is. There is one. I think the big thing holding up is the idea of zero rating. So if you have like AT&T and on your phone you stream DirecTV now, you don't get that counted towards your data. In California's net neutrality bill, that would become illegal. Or am I thinking New York? I think it's California's. And there's a lot of questions about that right there to see what they're going to do with it. So I think it's some form of the California net neutrality bill is going to pass. There's a few other states going to pass it. So it's going to happen. Just these things don't happen overnight. Luke, will XMU add anything new? So XMU, Zoom, however you say it, Some people want to tell me it's called XMU. Some people want to call it Zoom. It's a free streaming service similar to Pluto. It's ad supported. Got all these different channels on it. It's pretty cool. It's on Roku, many other smart TVs and the like. Will they add new content? They seem to always be adding new content. So yeah, it's kind of like Pluto TV. They're always rotating. I recommend getting both. How does my husband watch NFL without cable? Without getting the NFL Game Pass? So NFL Game Pass is currently only, or is it Sunday Ticket? Sunday Ticket is only through DirecTV Now. That's the one, or DirecTV. That's the one where you get every NFL game even out of market. Now, cord cutting to get your local market games is very easy. Most NFL games can be picked up for free with an antenna. Add in a Sling TV, DirecTV Now, Hulu, whatever for ESPN or NFL Network. PlayStation Vue, Sling TV, DirecTV Now, Fubo all have the NFL Network. NFL Red Zone is available on PlayStation Vue, Fubo, and Sling TV. So there's really kind of a lot of options out there to get NFL content. NFL is very easy. Get an antenna, get a live TV streaming service. Many of the live TV streaming services now include locals for ABC, CBS, Fox, etc. So yeah, it's really easy. Luke, do you have any information about Tiki TV? Can it be trusted? I've reached out to them a couple times. They've never responded to my requests for comment or anything, so I don't know. Don't know quite what to make of them. Is the, Ricky asks, is his local NBC affiliate? I'm not sure off the top of my head. Go to, is his NBC available on DirecTV Now? Not sure off the top of my head. Go to DirecTV Now. Right there, when you enter your zip code, it will tell you what's available in your area. Dean asks, have I heard anything more about Viacom channels coming to PlayStation Vue? So a couple weeks ago, Viacom channels briefly reappeared in the guide on PlayStation Vue and then disappeared. No, have not heard anything. Could be a glitch. We just don't know, to be honest with you. Could very well be a glitch, unfortunately. But we'll have to wait and see. What streaming services offer Boston Pro Sports? I want to say the Garden Networks. It's on Hulu, Fubo. Well, other networks have the New York, Boston area Garden Sports Networks. I want to say those are the two. Pretty much all of them have the regional sports networks for Boston. It's the one out in New York is the harder one to get. Have you ever reviewed NFL Game Pass? No, I haven't done a review on YouTube. Maybe I'll try to look at doing that. Why isn't AT&T Sportsnet on DirecTV and they own it? I don't know. AT&T just hasn't decided to put their own sports service on their own streaming service. It's AT&T. Unfortunately, they are what they are. Cal asks, Luke, what's happening with Spectrum in New York State? A few weeks ago, the state of New York ruled that Spectrum has to get out of the state, sell off their cable networks there. Spectrum has said, tough luck, we're going to see you in court. And so Spectrum is kind of hunkering down, getting ready for a legal challenge. This is probably going to be something that drags out for years and years. Kirk says, Luke, what do you do if you can't use an antenna? I'm in Lancaster, California. I'm assuming that's an area with poor over-there TV signal. Trust me, I get it. When I cut the cord, I was living in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, and I mean nowhere, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, in a valley 60-plus miles from nearest transmitter. A few things. Many live TV streaming services will have your locals, PlayStation Vue, Hulu, DirecTV Now, YouTube TV, etc. Those are the big ones with locals, so you may be able to get your local through that. The other thing is, what I did is I got Hulu, so I got most of the shows I wanted the next day, and then I use a service like NewsOn to watch my local news broadcasts. So there's options out there. All right, I might get DirecTV Now when I go. Might get DirecTV Now when I go to networks. Some of my life channels are not there. Why? Cruise, I'm assuming you're talking about Lifetime channels. Each service has a different lineup of channels. So if DirecTV Now doesn't have the channel you want, check out PlayStation Vue, Hulu, Sling TV, etc. One of them will have the channels you want. If you go to CoreCarsNews.com, at the very top, there's a beginner's guide to cable. If you pull that down, there's one option right there that says find stream cable channels online. That will give you a full breakdown of all the different channels out there. So check that out. Kyle says, Luke, you and others have touted DirecTV Now as being pretty good. Yeah, I see other cord cutters complain no support customer service suddenly stoppage. I think I read that right. I'm assuming you're hearing some people say that DirecTV Now is not working for them. And there is definitely a lot of issues with DirecTV Now. If you read Cord Cutters News, you're going to find many posts about DirecTV Now being down, other DirecTV Now issues. It's a new service. People are like, oh, cable works. Well, cable goes out too, but cable also has 30 years of building their network. DirecTV Now has a year. So yeah, you're saving time, money. Every month it gets better. But yeah, they're still in a growing phase. They're still learning. They're still developing, still having issues. I will say Sling TV, PlayStation Vue have been a lot more stable. Sling TV has probably been one of the most stable out there. Hulu's been pretty good recently about their stability. So yeah, my recommendation, they all offer free trials. Try them out. Take advantage of them. If you like DirecTV Now, great, go for it. If you like Sling, go for it. If you like Hulu, go for it. Get what's good for you. I recommend them all pretty much. Yeah, Sling TV, Robert is right. Sling TV had issues when they first launched. Well, that was 3 years ago. So in that 3 years, they've really upped the network and made it a lot better. So just keep that in mind. Luke, can you find out what leagues for football ESPN Plus will have this season on TV? I do. If you go over to CoreCardsNews.com, you type in ESPN Plus. I have a full first look at it. It's a lot of the smaller ones like Max. Some of the games. Now here's the thing, like some MAC games will be on ESPN Plus, some will be on ESPNU or whatever, ESPN News. So it really depends which games will be on both. In what way is Hulu with live TV worth it? Well, it depends. Do they offer what you want? For many cord cutters, live TV streaming service just doesn't mean anything. There's about 5-6 million live TV streamers. There's about 25-28 million cord cutters. That means roughly about 20 million cord cutters have decided a live TV streaming service is just not worth it to them. Which most of the year I'm kind of in that pack. To be honest with you, I don't watch live TV except for football season. So that's kind of where I am. But to you, is it worth it? Does it have the news channels, the sports channels, whatever, HETV, whatever it is to you that makes it worth it? Now, you ask, is it worth it? What makes it worth it? That's a different answer to each person. The thing with cord cutting is it really is whatever you want it to be. With cable, they're going to say, hey, we have these 3 packages, maybe 4, whatever, and you're going to pick one of these packages and you're going to be happy with it because that's all you get. With cord cutting, there's hundreds of services out there. You can clearly say, hey, I want this service. I'm an anime fan. I'm going to get Crunchyroll or Funimation. I'm a sports fan, so I'm going to get ESPN Plus with Sling TV or whatever. So you can really say, hey, for what I want, these services fill what I need. It's very different than cable, where cable says, hey, I don't really give a care what you want. We're cable. We're a big conglomerate. You're going to buy whatever we tell you to buy. So the whole question of is it worth it really depends on what do you want. So what do you want? Do you want anime? Well, check out Crunchyroll. Do you want sports? Maybe a live TV streaming service is for you. Do you just want a ton of movies? Maybe you look at some of the different movie streaming services. Of course, there's Netflix, but there's some specialty ones out there too nowadays. Like Turner Classic Movies has a streaming service with just tons of classic movies on it. So just keep that in mind. Luke, my Sony TV died about 4 weeks ago. No TV right now. You need that TCL TV. Yes, you want that TCL TV? Well, hey, we're giving away a 4K 55-inch TCL TV with a built-in Roku, a free month of Sling TV, and a Mohu antenna. Link in the show notes. Go on down there, enter it. Next Sunday, from when I'm recording this, it's August 15th right now. Next Monday. We're going to go through Monday. So next Monday is your last day to enter. So don't wait. Right now, as you listen to the Q&A, go down in the show notes. Join. Fill out the app, the thing there. There's tons of options to enter the giveaway. The more things you do, the more you get. If you do at least one of them, you're entered into the giveaway. Luke, Panama City. Hello, Alan. Welcome there. All right. Do you know any apps that might have the Wonder Years? Off the top of my head, I don't, but I bet somebody in here does. I want to say Hulu has or had the Wonder Years, or maybe I'm confusing that with another show they have. Anybody know what streaming service has the Wonder Years? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Luke, do you think the WWE Network revolutionized cord cutting. I know it's apples and oranges, but before 2012, it was a big deal, and it wasn't as big as it is now. Yeah, so the WWE Network was one of the first big departures from cable, where the WWE Network said, hey, we're going to put our pay-per-view events, all kinds of content online for a subscription through our WWE streaming service called the WWE Network. I really think it did help. It did show that, hey, there is money to be made here, and people went out, they bought it, and by all accounts, it's been doing really well for the WWE Network. And it also showed that WWE was powerful enough that they could piss off cable companies and they would still pay them to be on there. So it definitely helped push cord cutting forward. I don't think there's any way to deny that. All right, do you know if a TV station will offer broadband through ATC 3.0 using white space? So yeah, the new 3.0 TV standard, theoretically, there are people looking at the possibility of using it for broadband internet. There's some issues with it, especially with the rollout of 5G and fixed wireless standards already in the market. There's a lot of questions of why would we do another one? Excuse me, a completely different standard. So there's a lot of people who are out there that are just looking at the possibilities of using the new over-the-air TV standard 3.0 to also do free to do over-the-air internet. Will it happen? It could. Will it happen? I don't know. Fixed wireless already rolling out. 5G is already rolling out. T-Mobile says by the end of the year they want to be in 30 markets. Verizon's going to be in 7. AT&T is going to be in 5 to 10, something like that. Or AT&T 5 to 10, Verizon 7 or so. So we'll have about 40, 50 some markets with 5G by the end of the year. Next year, a ton more. By end of 2020, half the United States. So we'll just kind of keep that in mind when looking at any update in Verizon about their TV service. Verizon has decided not to go forward with their live TV streaming service. They have partnered with Google to include. You have an option when you sign up for 5G internet from Verizon. You can pick free YouTube TV. We don't know for how long, but it's probably going to be you're going to get X amount of months of free YouTube TV, or you can get a free Apple TV as part of your deal. It's going to be up to you. Pick one, not both, from what we understand. But we don't. So that's the deal. They're not going to launch their own. They've looked at it and they said, "Hey, we decided not to do it." Excuse me. We decided not to launch our own live TV streaming service. So that's the update there on that. Hey, somebody was saying I can't find the TMC app. That's because it's actually they call it Filmstruck. So if you're looking for TMC's subscription movie streaming service, you want to look for Filmstruck. 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 It's one word, and it does offer a free trial. It includes the Situation whatever channel. I butcher names. I apologize. And TMC select ones. Andrew asks, are there any streaming or are there any TV stations that are running 3.0? Currently in test markets: Phoenix, Dallas, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, somewhere in North Carolina. I want to say Greensboro, but the other part of me says Raleigh, North Carolina. They're currently in test markets right now, rolling out to other areas. Probably late this year, probably get somebody to go public with one, and next year they're really going to go out. Sinclair and Nexstar, I believe it is, are both heavily pushing this, and they're some of the largest owners of over their TV stations. So I would expect once they make the move, others will make the move too. When is the DC Universe streaming service supposed to come out? This month, DC is launching a new streaming service. Now, what's interesting here a little bit is that it appeared on the Google App Store very briefly earlier, so it looks like it's pretty darn close to going live, but it isn't right now. So just keep that in mind. Any updates on the EAS alerts? Yeah. Oh, emergency alert system. I don't know why. It's been a long day. I did not, for some reason, connect that. Update bill. No, there's no update on it. So there is a bill that would require Netflix, Hulu, and others to include emergency alerts when there's severe weather or other thing in their area. And from my understanding, it's been proposed. These things take time. So just keep that in mind. Andrew, I answered this again, but I'll do it again. Maybe I was clear. There are no public ATSC 3.0 TV stations. There are test markets in Phoenix, Dallas, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, and somewhere in North Carolina, to name a few. They're testing it. Probably later this year we'll get one go live, and then start next year. Nexstar and Sinclair are both extremely pushing the new 3.0 standards, so I would look at that to become a reality very soon. How much will the DC streaming service be per month? I don't remember. It's sub $10. Robert, if you go to corecarsnews.com, you type in DC streaming, you'll find a couple stories there. One of them details the pricing. They're doing pre-signups right now, so if you search for DC Universe, that's the name of the service, there is a website where you can prepay and sign up and get all the pricing and details right there. Brandon says, do you think Verizon will do contracts with their 5G since they are giving away an Apple TV? Yeah, it's a home internet service. So pretty much all home internet services, most not all, require a contract. So I would not be surprised if there is a contract on it, just to be honest with you. Hello, Tom. Great to have more people from California. Luke, what's going on with the DJ appeal of the AT&T Time Warner merger? So they are appealing it. The American Cable Association also joined in this week, basically saying this is bad news. The judge didn't properly take in consideration a bunch of other stuff or something along those lines. Basically, it's being appealed. The Department of Justice is making a hard push for it. I was not surprised that AT&T's merger with Time Warner got approved. I was surprised that there was no conditions on the approval. I think there's a lot of precedent. There's a lot of understandable reasons why they would put certain conditions on a deal like that. You look at the Comcast NBC Universal merger, tons of conditions, tons and tons of conditions there. So I am kind of surprised that there was no conditions applied to it. So we'll have to wait and see what's happening with it. I don't know. We're going to have to wait a while before we hear exactly what's happening with the appeal. Probably be a month or two before we really hear anything. Hey, tons of people asking questions today. It's awesome. Hey, thank you so much. If I haven't answered your question, re-ask it. Hey, do a super chat if you want to really get your question out there so I don't miss it. But if I missed your question, just re-ask it. It's because as I answer one, 3 other questions fly by, and I can't answer them all at once. All right. Can you recommend an Ethernet? Emil, I do not have one off the top of my head I recommend. Do you know if DirecTV Now will have an option to not ask you if you're still watching? No, because here's the reality with streaming services. If you turn off your TV but your Roku keeps streaming, 2 things happen. A, if you have a data cap, you're wasting data. 2, that's one more stress point on the server. So if you're really not there and you're watching DirecTV Now, if enough people do that, it can put significant strain on a service like Sling or DirecTV Now that eventually can overwhelm them. It's a little different than just connected to your cable network, so just keep that in mind. So that's why they do it. Don't expect that to go away. Luke, any update on the Disney-Fox merger? It looks like pretty much everybody in the United States who needs to approve it has. A few things out there. EU and China regulatory approval. I would be surprised if Disney goes through with that, even if they don't get a EU or China approval. I just got a feeling that Disney is going to make this happen. The one interesting thing is Amazon and YouTube are interested in buying the Fox regional sports. So they both expressed interest. We'll have to wait and see what's happening on that. Mr. One says, did you know that SmackDown is going to Fox on Fridays for fall of 2019? Yeah, I have a story about over at corecarsnews.com. But yeah, that puts SmackDown on over-the-air TV once again. They used to be on over-the-air TV, but it seems like it's been a very long time. Maybe I'm thinking of another WWE event back when it was WWF. I don't know. Luke, do you have a favorite high-end TV? Say Samsung, LG, Sony, whatever. Oh boy, not really. I just can't bring myself to pay $3,000, $2,000 plus dollars for a TV. I'm just too poor. I mean, I don't know. You don't become successful in life, as my grandma would say, by buying a $3,000 TV. But as far as a sub $1,000 TV, TCL TVs, if you're looking for a sub $1,000, is pretty good. Once you get over $1,000, that's probably too rich for my blood, to be honest with you. SmackDown used to be on UPN. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Robert. Ethernet switches. I've been a big fan of Netgear products. I would check that out. Sony OLED, check that out. I know a lot of people like those Sony TVs. They're not bad. The OS on it for over there or the smart TV one's actually one of the better ones out there. All right. If I didn't answer your question, re-ask it. Tony says, any news on T-Mobile TV? They said they would have 5G in 30-some cities by the end of 2018. All we know is by the end of 2018, they still say they intend to launch a live TV streaming service or live TV service. Over at CoreCarsNews.com, I have some new details about it. They posted some job postings that they're hiring for their new TV service, which includes install techs. They're looking for people to come into people's homes, set up home Wi-Fi networks, and set up cable TV boxes, set-top boxes. And they're only looking in like California and Detroit, which makes you wonder if this is really going to be a cord cutting service or more of a traditional cable network. So keep that in mind. Colin says, what series TCL TV is giving away? It's a 5 series. If you want all the details, I have the series, the make, the models, everything, links to them down in the show notes. You can click on that to the giveaway, and right there you'll find all the details of the Sling TV gift card, the Mohu antenna, and the TCL Roku TV. Any news on Philo adding new channels? Not at this time. Philo has said nothing about adding new channels at this time. What have you heard about Disney's forthcoming streaming service? Nothing that I haven't posted since about last week. I shared a story again about that on Twitter and Facebook recently. Basically, that the Disney one will be a very family-focused one. The R-rated, the higher-end ones are going to be going over to Hulu. So Hulu's going to be where you're going to find the R-rated stuff, all that. The Disney service is going to be the free one. So keep that in mind. When's OTA Smart TV channel going to go live? OTA Smart TV channel. I'm not familiar. Jog my memory there, Duff. Exactly what you're talking about? Talking about a new over-there TV channel? I don't know. There's a lot of them coming. Give me a little bit more details. I'm not sure I fully understand your question. So, D, sorry, I got distracted. If you want to learn more about any of those services or the new one, go to CoreCarsNews.com, type in Disney in the search. I got some there. But there's really not a lot of news out there right now new. When will Stars be on Hulu other than select content? I haven't heard anything about any new type of deal with Hulu and Stars. Luke, are you going to test the new Samsung Smart Thing Wi-Fi? I just saw 3 videos on here on YouTube. I probably will add it in my my list of things to test. We got some new products coming here to test. As you know, hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We're over 30,000, coming up on 31,000. And we'll be doing more and more reviews. Some of these, like, hey, review this $3,000 TV. Well, that's $3,000 I have to spend, and sometimes it's hard to earn $3,000 back on a review. But we'll be doing more and more. I got some products coming in. Look for more reviews. Keep that in mind. Oh, the Start TV. Yeah. Duff, if you go over to CoreCarsNews.com, you type in Start TV, it's launching this fall. It's going to focus on dramas with strong women leads in it, or strong women characters in it. So check that out. There is, I don't believe, an exact launch date, not from the last press release I saw. I believe it's next month or 2. But over at CoreCarsNews.com, I have what markets it'll be launching in first and all kinds of details. Just type in Start TV. Nothing new other than that. Hello, card collector. Good to have you here. What should I do? I only pay $10 a month. Okay, I think I missed part of your question. Cruz, I'm not understanding your question. I'm guessing what you're saying is when you go to DirecTV now, you look at networks. I'm assuming you mean local networks. You're not getting locals. I'm not sure what to tell you. My recommendation is unsubscribe, resubscribe. Try Hulu. Try YouTube TV. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that one. D, thank you for that $5 donation. Hey, I really appreciate it. It helps Scorecards News. Tony says, are there any IPTVs like Nitro that are legal? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The reality is most services that call themselves IPTV are not legal. You don't see DirecTV Now, Hulu, YouTube, Fubo, any of these places call themselves IPTV. Fubo, Hulu, DirecTV Now, PlayStation View, YouTube TV, they're all legal. Those ones are like, hey, $5 and we'll give you 3,000 channels, including HBO and all this other stuff for a month, whatever. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. All right. Well, Hulu Live at AMC could be, but we haven't heard it. My recommendation, send them a little note. Say, send AMC a note and send Hulu a note. Let them both know you want AMC and Hulu to carry each other. Do you think it's legal to use someone else's TV provider login with their approval? It could be legal, but you always run the risk of someday them coming you off. Charter CEO kind of went off a little bit on people sharing passwords. He is not a fan of it, as you would expect. My recommendation is, there's so many options for under $40. You can get a live TV service. And, just pay for your own. Would be my recommendation. All right. Hey, real quick, I'm going to do a short ad. Why? Because I have to pay the bills, folks. It's going to be about 30 seconds. Some of you see it, some of you won't. It's going to be real quick. For everybody who's not seeing the ad right now, don't forget, we're giving away a TCL Roku TV, free month of Sling, free Mohu antenna. It's a 55-inch 4K HDR TV. In the show notes down below, we have a link to all kinds of how to enter. There's many options there to enter. The more things you do, the more chances you get to enter it. So check that out. Yeah. So D says, wow, in my area, both YouTube TV and DirecTV Now have all my locals. I'm not in a big area. Yeah, increasingly they are. I think Hulu's north of 400 or 500 locals. DirecTV Now is now over like 300. YouTube TV's in the 400 or 500 range. They're pretty much. PlayStation View, weirdly, has been dropping locals. Both Sinclair and Tribune locals have dropped there, so we'll have to wait and see. What do I think of VPNs? Well, for traveling, I travel for business. I use a VPN all the time. For cord cutting, I don't really recommend it. Many streaming services are cracking down on the practice of using VPNs, and the ones who aren't yet probably will be. So just keep that in mind. That for security, if you're in a public Wi-Fi, definitely don't be checking your banking account information if you're not using a VPN. When I'm in public, I always use a VPN. Just keep that in mind. John Boy says, Sling TV may not call themselves an IPTV service, but it's an IPTV. IPTV is an Internet Protocol TV service. You're getting way too technical. And honestly, you don't want to know what in the industry they call stuff like Sling TV is VMPD. Virtual Multi-Channel Provider, whatever. VMPD, whatever. Even in the industry, they don't call themselves IPTV services. For some reason, that's kind of a term that pirate services kind of really adopted, just to be honest with you. And it kind of stuck for pirate services. So just keep that in mind. But when it comes to is something legal, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Your grandma was right. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Hey, question. I know we sold about 200 of these recently. Would people like to get another set of Core Cards News mugs? Would you buy another one? We're thinking of picking up a few more Core Cards News mugs. Let me know. Be about $10 for a mug plus shipping. Leave me a comment. It could help Core Cards News. All right. Thinking of switching from DirecTV Now to YouTube TV in a few months. How does channel sign and compare? Fairly comparable. Here's my big thing with the channel sign. I think people get in this mind of cable, right? You're stuck with cable. Cable recently has been out launching apps so you can use, the Comcast app to watch your live TV wherever you are. Before that, you had to use apps like Watch ESPN and so on. The reality is that out there you don't need to. Sling TV has everything there. YouTube works on pretty much all devices, so there really isn't a need to go out there and sign into mobile apps like there used to be. So I really wouldn't worry about it. Like Sling TV has done a really good job about going out of their way to offer pretty much everything that would be in their other apps on Sling TV, for example. Like every Simpson episode is on Sling TV. So just keep that in mind. So I don't know, just an idea. Finishing reading and talking. So the focus on the need to have access to mobile apps is kind of something people get stuck in the mindset of when it comes to cable, that you need it when you really don't, because YouTube TV, all that. Now YouTube TV, Sling TV, DirecTV Now, they all offer access to things like Watch ESPN, Fox Sports Go, etc. Just keep that in mind. I think people are overly attached to it. They're not really looking at the on-demand content through the other way. Jonathan says, Air TV, when will we have the DVR and multiple tuners? Well, they are working on it, I guess. They have DVR in the white box. The black box, they still say coming soon. I'm not sure if a newer device that has more tuners at this time. NYC says, does Disney realize how big they will be in 2019 in streaming? Not only they have their own streaming service, they'll have a bigger stake in Hulu and will inherit Hotstar, 21st Century Fox. I think Disney is deliberately saying, hey, we want to grow our streaming presence. We see where everything's moving. Their CEO a while back even said, hey, ESPN Plus, there could be a day in the future, not anytime soon, he was very clear, not like tomorrow, but way down the road where you could just buy ESPN through ESPN Plus without having to have even a Sling TV subscription. So I think Disney has really seen that the future is streaming, and they're positioning themselves to be all set for that. So it'll be interesting. And where Disney goes, others typically follow. So keep that in mind. So get your questions in. Another about 15 minutes here to answer all your core current questions. But hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Really appreciate it. We're over 30,000 subscribers. Wow, I can't believe it. Thank you so much. We're already halfway to 31,000 pretty much. So hit that subscribe button, like, share. Really, if you ever want to support Core Cars News, here's a great step. If you have a YouTube account that you like to follow, if you like somebody on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, and you want to help them out, here's how you can do it. Randomly, whenever I say this, everybody does it on this video, which is great, but randomly, whenever you see their videos, hit that like, hit that thumbs up on Facebook, Twitter, wherever, because all these services, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all have algorithms, and depending on the number of people who see a story versus the number of likes or shares or comments, the higher that percentage is of people who see it and like, share, or comment, do any of that, results in more people seeing that post. So you could, it could be thousands more people would see it if you like it or not. So if you ever want to help Core Cars News or other ones on whatever random video you see of ours, whatever random Facebook post or tweet, hit that like, hit that thumbs up, and just keep that in mind. So, and then you can go there. And it will help Core Cars News. Robert says Tableau's DVR is flashing a blue light. Yeah, so Tableau does have a indicator light there. I believe I've seen this, and I think it's still in their settings. If you go into the settings in your Tableau app, in there you can disable the flashing blue indicator lights. So keep that in mind. DJ says, any word on Verizon partnering with another streaming service? Yes, DJ, a couple days ago it was announced, was it Tuesday or Monday? It was Tuesday in the afternoon, so yesterday, that they've teamed up with YouTube TV. So Verizon's 5G service will give you the option of getting a free Apple TV, or for a limited amount of time, we're not sure how long, how many months it'll be, you'll be able to get YouTube TV for free. Now the major streamings offer local channels in my area. What do you suggest for recording? Well, I would get an antenna, And then you get Channel Master DVR, Tableau DVR. TiVo is not a bad option. It's a little pricey. And TiVo's kind of getting out of the DVR realm. They're kind of selling off to a third party on a lot of that stuff. Keep that in mind. If you have a home media server, something like Plex is a great option. So lots of options. Get an antenna. That's what I recommend. If you don't have local, for one, I would be shocked if none of them have it. YouTube, Hulu, PlayStation View, DirecTV Now, etc. But if really none of them, get an antenna. Even if they offer it, still get an antenna because there's still a lot of other over-there TV channels not included in all the other ones. So keep that in mind. Joe says, have you reviewed the Google Movie Family Plan? I've done a lot over at CoreCarsNews.com and rating, but not on YouTube. With all the 5G talk, but the big question is, will there be a data cap? Well, there's already one 5G network live from C Spire, and they have no data cap. Will there be a data cap? We don't know. Verizon has said is they intend to treat 5G as a home internet service and, quote, make it competitive with home internet services. So that would probably mean a data cap in line with at least a terabyte, you would think, right? If there is one. With C Spire and others hinting at no data caps, well, C Spire actually doing it, $50 a month, 120 down, no data cap. Yeah, you're probably really are looking at that as a reality where TV's going, where home internet's going. Right now, there's 2, maybe 3 options in most areas, which allows them to do stuff like poor customer service, data caps, crazy pricing schemes. When there's 7, 8, 9, 10 home internet plans out there, yeah, we're definitely going to be looking at the world where they drop data caps just to compete. AT&T's DSL will have to say, hey, with cable and 3 other 5G networks in the area, maybe we have to get rid of data caps, or Comcast and others. So yeah, I think that's going the right way. Richard says your new camera looks great tonight. Thanks, Richard. I'm playing around with the settings a little bit on it. We're doing it. XSplit, which is a software I use, they made some changes too, which allowed me to make some changes. But hey, we're doing some investing to try to make this look better, which unfortunately means you get to see my face clearer, which could be a downside. I don't know. You always hear Dick Van Dyke always talk about how every year he put the camera another foot farther away from him and then put a little bit more Vaseline on the camera. Maybe I need to start doing that. Move the camera farther away, put a little Vaseline on the lens. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I shouldn't ask that question. I'll probably get comments I don't want. Do you see Spectrum has already offered to upgrade the internet? Spectrum, Comcast has been doing this for a long time, and they've been upgrading their networks to offer faster speeds, and when they do that, they often offer free upgrades to existing customers. So there is that option there, but some of that is prep for the possibility of 5G rolling out. Some of that's just they're upgrading their networks to compete. For instance, where I live, CenturyLink offered a fiber option for gigabyte. Well, guess who came up about 6 months later with a gigabyte option of their own? Spectrum. Because AT&T offered one, Spectrum met it. It's kind of the reality. When one of them does it, there is another one out there that does it next. I think I read a report, and I have to find this report. I haven't sat down and looked for it. But there was a report not that long ago that said when there's 3 or more internet providers, the speeds are typically faster in that market, and the prices are typically lower in that market versus a similar market that only has 2 internet providers. The reality is competition is the real best one out there. So just keep that in mind. Cameron says, what do you know about APKs? APKs is just a file format. The reality is, if somebody's telling you here's the reality. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Your grandma was right, folks. Your mom was right. Hate to tell it to you, but your mom was right. So was your grandma. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Just actually a couple weeks ago, I got a call from somebody who had spent over $300, actually last week, at a military post at a PX. A little cart. Somebody selling these Kodi boxes. I know it's not Kodi, but people call them Kodi boxes. Preloaded with all these piracy things that was like free TV, free this, free that. Well, they bought it, and it no longer works because that particular company stopped supporting it. They got their money, and they said, bye. That person was out $300. My recommendation is always, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. If you want to go spend that $300 to buy these boxes with crazy promises, go right ahead. Just don't come complain to me if it doesn't work 2 months on the year. I mean, the reality is, if you want to pirate, you don't need to pay somebody $300 to pirate. I don't know. That's just my thought on it. Do you know when Spectrum will be going all digital with all their cable boxes? Spectrum is already rolling that out. In many markets, Spectrum is already a digital one, which means you need to rent boxes. And I think it's between $5 and $7, depending on what market you are, per TV to rent that little box to descramble the digital code on there. So just keep in mind that in most markets they're doing that, and that can add up. You got 4 TVs, non-reasonable. 2 in the bedrooms, kitchen and living room, or family room and living room. Before you know it, you got $20+ in extra fees out there. Luke, do you see Verizon adding fees to subscriptions to streaming to supplement such as YouTube TV? Luke, okay, I think I understand Colin's question. He says, Luke, he's asking, is Verizon going to add additional fees, for instance, for like the YouTube TV deal? So YouTube TV is going to be bundled with 5G. So there's going to be some type of hidden fees. From my understanding, no, there will not be hidden fees. And if they are, just don't get it through Verizon, because you can always go and subscribe directly through AT&T. From the looks of it, from everything Verizon said, this is an add-on. You get something for free, so many months free of YouTube TV, and then you can always keep subscribing to it later. All right. If you have a question, we have a little over 10 minutes left. Ask your question. I'm going to do my best to answer them all and see what I can do there. Hello, Chris. If you asked a question and I did not answer it, re-ask it, and I'll do my best to answer your question. As always, as I answer one question, others fly by. Will you be reviewing the new DC Universe app? Yeah, I'll probably do a full review of it pretty close to when it goes live. And again, hit subscribe here because it'll probably be here first, and then written over at corecarsnews.com. How can you get MLB Extra Innings package on the Spectrum app? I am not sure if the Spectrum streaming service offers that. You may want to look at the MLB Bat app, which is their subscription service, so just keep that in mind. The Springfield, Missouri, I'm not sure who's going to hit that first for 5G. It was actually one of the earlier markets to get 4G from Verizon. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I always remember when I would travel into Springfield back when I lived at Fort Leonard Wood, and I'd be like, yeah, I got 5G on my phone. I was all excited. And then one day, it moved a little farther out, a little closer to Fort Leonard Wood. And then finally one day it was at Fort Leonard Wood. But yeah, Springfield, Missouri was actually fairly early in the process for 5G. How much do most people pay for Wi-Fi only? Well, I pay $30 for 100 down with Spectrum. How do I get that deal? Well, every 2 years or so, when my contract comes up and they won't give me a good deal on internet, I switch. I go back and forth between DSL and cable. And I think a lot of people say, oh, DSL is awful. In some parts of the country, it still is. In most parts of the country, DSL is actually pretty good now. For instance, where I live, they have a gigabit fiber option through the local phone company. And they have plans starting at like $30 for like 100 down. So my recommendation is to go and shop around. A lot of people get in the mindset that once they subscribe to internet, they're never going to change. Even if you don't want to change, if you know what the competitors, if you have Comcast, AT&T is charging X. Call Comcast and say, hey, AT&T is offering me X for Y speed. Can you beat that deal or I'm going to switch? More often than not, they will go and they will try to meet that deal. The other thing to do is buy your modem. $10 to $12 a month is not unusual to rent a modem from many of these cable companies. You can buy a decent modem for $100, $150 and own it for life pretty much. So keep that in mind that you can cut $10, $12 off a month of that just by cutting out the modem rental. But shop around. This is why people are excited about 5G though. With 5G launching later this year, coming out to more places, that gives you even more options to shop around with. And again, even if you don't plan to go out there and switch, to know what the competitors offer is great. Colin, the reason you are technically right. Fiber is not DSL, but you're way into the weeds. People, you gotta understand, people don't care what the technical term of it is. When people think of internet offered by a phone company, they call it DSL. Whether that comes through fiber or that comes through a traditional phone line, people don't care. They just call it DSL. It's kind of like not every brand of tissue is a Kleenex, but people call them all Kleenexes. Kind of just the reality of the situation. So you are technically right that in markets that offer fiber, that's not technically a DSL, but it's still offered by your phone company, and it's one more option out there. Even traditional DSL, many areas is well over 100 down, and so on. So, DSL is not a bad option. I get it. I lived in rural Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. The fastest internet speed when I moved there was 10 down CenturyLink DSL. I paid $70 a month for 10 down DSL. I cut the cord with 10 down DSL. The cable company from a company called Cable America was offering 6 down. I remember the tech came to my door. He's like, "We have super fast internet speed, $80 a month, 6 down." I said, "I'm paying less than that for 10 down." He goes, "Really?" "Yeah." Essentially, like, "Oh, okay." About a year before I moved away from there, they upped it to 20 down, and they thought it was the greatest thing in the world that they're offering 20 down. So I get it that some very rural areas there's not great speed, but the vast majority of Americans do have a decent DSL or phone company, whatever you want to call it, and a cable option. Shop around, go back and forth, and keep that in mind. Camera, yes, some companies, Fios companies, because the fiber internet requires a specific type of modem, does require you to buy their own. Most cable companies will allow you to. CenturyLink, I want to say allows you to buy it. I can't remember. Don't count me on that. Richmond, I would be very shocked if AT&T is really only offering 1.5 down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I know I have friends in Fort Lauderdale that have AT&T down there, and they're getting way faster than 1.5. You may want to shop around on that again. Johnny Boys says the best he can get is 25 down, but that's enough for streaming, and he's very right. The reality is, a lot of people forget that you don't need crazy high speed. Here's my number one thing. When you cancel cable, they're always going to try to talk you into the fastest internet package. Reality is, you only need 5 down Mbps per Netflix HD stream. So 20 down gives you 4 Netflix streams. My recommendation is 20-25 down as a baseline where you should start. You can always go faster. Comcast, all these places will gladly upgrade your internet plan. The tough part is when you say, if you sign up for a gigabyte option and you suddenly realize I'm not really using that gigabyte speed, and you try to downgrade, they're going to be like, "Hey, you're in the contract. Tough luck, kiddo." So the reality is always try to start low. You can always increase your speed later. They're always willing to take more money from you. They're a lot less willing to take less money from you. So keep that in mind. Colin, my area is fiber to the house. We have a great option. Fiber to the node is another one that's becoming pretty popular right now. Fiber to the node is basically a precursor to 5G. What's going to happen with 5G? Terry, you're right. Depends on how far you are from the headquarters, but DSL in most major cities has been improved way past 1.5 down. Very shocked to find that a Fort Lauderdale, Florida would really only have 1.5 down. That would really, really shock me. I know people that live in Fort Lauderdale that have AT&T that are getting way faster than 1.5 down. How many devices can you connect to 25 down, 5 up? So in theory, with 25 down internet, you can do 5 HD Netflix streams at once. So in theory, you could do 5 HD Netflix streams at once. So if you think about it, you could do 3 Netflix streams plus surf the web, phone, tablet. It's really enough for most households. Most average 3-4 people households, 25 down is more than enough. Yeah, Terry says in northern Michigan, AT&T is running fiber to the nodes. Yeah, many of these places are trying to upgrade their networks. And it goes back to, they see the writing on the wall, they know competition's coming, and they are trying to compete with it. So, they're preparing for competition. The greatest thing that can happen in cord cutting is competition. When places, 5G launches other things, it brings competition, which breeds, existing competitors to upgrade their systems. So just keep that all in mind. All right, hey, last call for questions. I'll do my best to answer it. Rock Freak says, what does 25 down mean? Is that a faster speed, and is it a good option for cord cutting? 25 down is just a measure of speed. If you look at pretty much internet ones, go say 100 down, 25 down, 50 down, 60 down, whatever. It's just a measurement of how fast the internet is. The faster the number, the faster the internet is. So that's the most layman, simple explanation. Somebody here is going to be going, now, Luke, there's some technical differences there with bandwidth. Okay, I get that. You don't need to send me the notes. But the general rule of thumb is the faster the number, the faster the internet will be. So just to keep that in mind. What do I think of the Boomerang app? If you like classic cartoons, there is really nothing better than the Boomerang app. All right, hey, we're going to be wrapping this up. We're going to do some, before the old camera, this was all blurry behind me. I'll do some rearranging back here so I can maybe move some of the stuff down to this next row for all the boxes, make it look a little nicer behind me. But hey, we're growing the YouTube channel. We're investing a lot into it. New camera, new equipment. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that like, hit that thumbs up, not just here on YouTube, Twitter, like I explained earlier. Doing that really does help us. I really do appreciate your support from everybody. It's been huge. So thank you. Hopefully one of you lucky people here today will win the new TCL Roku TV, Sling TV gift card, and Mohu antenna. Link in the show notes for that. So check it out. A few more questions. What's your opinions on 4K versus HD? My experience is that HDR Dolby Vision is the only advantage. I'm kind of with you, D. When I look at the 4K, standard 4K versus HD, I don't see a huge difference. But when you get HDR thrown in, that's when I start noticing, like, oh yeah, this is actually better than HD. When I looked at the fact that, how do I explain it? When I looked at 4K, just as plain 4K before HDR, I didn't see a reason to go buy out a new TV. With HDR, I definitely did, and it definitely made me go out there and do it. So keep that in mind. Why would each local stream on apps but not View? I don't know, William. If you're having a problem with the View app not streaming your local channels, I would contact them, and they have good customer service. First, Cameron, it's great to have you here. Thanks for being a first timer. I really appreciate it. So I think we're going to wrap this up. No Life says, is there any way my mom's internet provider can give higher speeds for the same price? Probably not. They're probably going to want you to pay more. My recommendation is always try at a lower speed, see if it works before you decide against it. So just keep that in mind. But hey, I'm going to wrap this up. Don't forget, on Saturday we have our weekly recap show. I got some other videos planned between now and then. Next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here at CoreCarsNews.com and YouTube.com/CoreCarsNews. Really appreciate it. Is a tip cup appreciate inappropriate? Well, no. I mean, send it if you want to send a tip. I appreciate it, Al. Just hit that super chat and leave a donation right through the super chat. Would really appreciate it. So, all right. So we're gonna wrap this up. I think I'm gonna cut the questions here. Thank you for your support. You want to support? You want to leave a tip? Super chat right through the apps. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're watching us on YouTube, check us out at CoreCarsNews.com. Yesterday, I think it was, I posted over 10 stories all about cord cutting. We also cover a lot of like how to save money on home internet, how to save money on cell phone plans, and other ways. So check that out, CoreCarsNews.com, not just for the giveaway, but because we do other ones. We also have daily and weekly newsletters you can subscribe to over there. So check it out. Hey everybody, hit that subscribe button. I will see you next week. I do have Facebook, facebook.com/CorkCarsNews, and Facebook. If you search for Cord Cutting Tech Support, there's a Facebook group there with over 40,000 people in there that do nothing but talk about cord cutting. So check that out. Thanks everybody. I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Same place, same time. Thanks for your support.